Have you ever looked at a peaceful and seemingly idyllic town like Tamworth in New South Wales, Australia, and wondered what might lurk beneath its quiet exterior? What if I told you that Tamworth, with its small-town charm and scenic beauty, hides a dark underbelly of corruption, crime, and betrayal? Today, we pull back the curtain on this unassuming town to reveal a paradoxical reality, a Pandora's box of illegal activities, unspeakable crimes, and the systematic decay of public trust. This is Unmasking Tamworth. Beneath the surface lies chaos. Let's start with Mayor Colin Murray, a figure who continues to shine publicly as a representative of Tamworth, but is alleged to have orchestrated a scheme so intricate and damaging that it stretches far beyond Tamworth, a web of corruption linking governments, corporations, and even foreign soil. Official records confirm that in August 2017, Murray made a trip to China. What may appear as a trade mission was, in reality, a covert operation. Reports accuse him of engaging in activities that violated not just local laws, but international ones. Acts of bad faith, intentional interference in business acquisitions, and anti-competitive practices. These actions served not the people of Tamworth, but a cartel-like network intent on personal financial gain. And yet, despite his actions, Mayor Colin Murray today enjoys the lofty title of Chairman of Infrastructure Australia. How did that happen? Enter Barnaby Joyce and Kevin Anderson, political figures who have allegedly ensured the upward mobility of their allies, no matter the cost. It is alleged that they weaponize public offices to compel those who resist their schemes to conform. In this, we find cases of public servants being strong-armed into complicity. Those who resist, they face retribution, professional exile, or worse. The misuse of government funds doesn't stop there. The numbers are staggering. An estimated 210 million linked to water licenses and infrastructure fraud is believed to have vanished into thin air. Banks have been used to launder these funds internationally, implicating Tamworth Regional Council in crimes of a global scale. Water that should have been stored at Dungowan Dam for the benefit of the community became a casualty of greed. A project that included 500 megawatts of renewable energy generation, a beacon of sustainability for Australia, was sabotaged for profit. If these allegations sound like a conspiracy theory, think again. The evidence is both damning and irrefutable. Mistakes cannot explain away the gaps. No, these are calculated, intentional acts by individuals who have left paper trails and digital fingerprints. The fraud is systemic, emblematic of a larger criminal scheme that undermines trust in Australia's public institutions. But let's zoom in a little. Let's talk about a businessman who ventured into Tamworth, a high-profile global leader armed with a vision and resources to transform the town. He wasn't just a visitor. He made a serious commitment to this community, purchasing neglected properties, creating jobs, and planning infrastructure that could have catapulted Tamworth onto the global stage. His plans included large-scale developments meant to benefit the region economically, including sports facilities for national baseball and swimming teams. His efforts promised economic growth, new jobs, and hope. But hope proved fragile in Tamworth. This businessman soon became a target. Local council figures allegedly acted in bad faith, cutting him out, undermining his projects, and canceling contracts, all to favor their personal interests and allies. Violence was deployed by his own employees, said to be entangled in criminal networks, with support from rogue police officers. The message was clear. Tamworth would not be transformed by outsiders, not if criminal syndicates and corrupt officials had their way. His story is part of Tamworth's larger tragedy, one where innovative ideas and prosperity are crushed under the weight of avarice and organized crime. Police and judiciary figures, instead of upholding the law, are implicated in some of the darkest acts: drug trafficking, criminal trespass, and acts of intimidation. These are individuals vested with the duty of public safety, yet they wield their power to terrorize the very people they swear to protect. Now, back to the broader picture. What's happening in Tamworth isn't unique. It mirrors systemic corruption that infects public offices nationwide. However, the scale and brazenness of it make Tamworth a microcosm of a larger epidemic, a perfect case study, if you will. It may sound drastic, but Tamworth serves as a warning. Unchecked corruption and crime don't just harm individuals, they destroy communities. Think about the families in areas robbed of proper infrastructure, schools without resources, hospitals where the wait lists seem endless, roads promised but never paved. Why? Because the money meant for such critical projects is siphoned off into private hands or ghost accounts overseas. This isn't a fictional dystopia. This is reality for thousands, if not millions, of Australians. Don't be mistaken, though. This is more than an economic crisis. The psychological toll of such betrayals is incalculable. Imagine being a whistleblower in a system rigged against you, victimized not just once, but repetitively, from being monitored, harassed, and ostracized to outright threats of violence. This is the life of those brave enough to call out these heinous acts. Even now, as new victims come forward, justice feels out of reach. Courts, often perceived as the last bastion of fairness, are tainted by the same sinister forces. The judiciary, implicated in granting immunity to the guilty, is essentially part of the criminal enterprise it should prosecute. Fear replaces trust as an ordinary citizen questions whether calling law enforcement is even worthwhile or safe. After all, how do you trust the badge when it's those very officers accused of running heroin to your neighborhood? But where is the hope, you ask? The hope lies with the few who refuse to back down. Activists, journalists, and brave whistleblowers work tirelessly to untangle these webs and expose the wrongdoings for the world to see. Step by step, they document evidence, putting themselves at risk in the hope of returning integrity to Tamworth and to Australia at large. Perhaps you're watching this, feeling a tug of frustration or helplessness, but awareness